Hello, I'm Danelle Robles, sales manager at Kidrobot, and we're back here doing a weekly spotlight for Women's History Month. And I'm so excited to introduce you to Jordan Elise Perme. Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Jordan graduated from the Cleveland Institute of Art with her BFA in Fiber and Material Studies, and she is the creator of the award-winning Horrible Adorables. She crafts the soft sculptures with her husband, Christopher, bringing their hybrid creatures to life with bright colors and unmistakable human emotion. Since March is Women's History Month, we'd like to begin by asking about your favorite female artist. Who are they and how have they influenced you?
So I have so many. I had to really think and pare this down, but I'd say that my tops are, I love Kiki Smith. I love Natalie Latte. They're probably my two favorite artists. Kiki Smith is a multidisciplinary artist who deals in subject matters of mortality, the female experience, how the human body is related to nature. And I find her artwork really beautiful, but at times gruesome, a little scary at times too, but I feel like everything I've ever wanted to be in an artist. I idolize her. And then Natalie Latte is like one of my other favorite artists. She's a French illustrator. She's got it all covered. She's doing home goods. She's doing these beautiful illustrations that are showed at galleries, a really rich commercial side to her artwork, and someone that I would say really breathes and lives their art. She lives in a house that's just like every square inch of it is covered with her artwork. And I just absolutely love it. Very whimsical and sweet.
At what point in your life did you begin to become aware of the difference between how men's art is memorialized versus women's? And do you see that changing?
I don't think I really realized the difference until maybe I was in college. And I discovered I had this real affinity for the textile arts. So my major was in fibers, and it was just a space filled with these amazing, talented women. And being a part of that really began to look into the history of textiles, with it being typically being women's work, being very associated with domestic arts.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd always have these really amazingly skilled women creating decorative objects or useful objects, but they were never placed on the same sort of pedestal as like the male dominated fine arts space. But I'm really proud to be in this space and continue to follow the tradition of women working with crafts, and hopefully coming to a point where we are elevating that and celebrating that as well. Where I see it changing is now being in the designer toy space. I really don't experience too much of a difference in like women's art or men's art. It feels very much like it's a very friendly space.
It is.
And everybody's celebrated. Yeah. I really love being in the toy art space and having an amazing group of like female collectors that collect our art. So
that's amazing. I love to hear that. Clearly your themes of your art, especially with Horrible Adorables, is very whimsical, a lot of animals. Can you go more into like how those themes started and if it's changed over the years?
At the core of Horrible Adorables are these really fantastical, whimsical creatures. And, with our name Horrible Adorables, they're very sweet on the surface, but sometimes if you scratch that surface, there's a current of like darker undertones, different like darker concepts that will emerge. And that's typically within our fine artwork. When we do our toys or things that are a little bit more commercial, it's very all sweet.
Yes. Well, speaking of happy art and turmoil and kind of the juxtaposition of the two, I mean, we're getting out of a pandemic, the world can sometimes seem really bleak. What do you think is the importance of art like during these difficult times that we're experiencing right now?
I think that artwork can be an escapism to just fill you with joy. If you're a collector and you have this around you, maybe it's just bringing you that bright spot that you need. Not all artwork, I don't think, needs a really hardline message. It could be just something that brings someone a spot of happiness to their day.
You've created so much work with Kidrobot and other collaborations. What are some of your favorite pieces? Can you share with us that and also why?
Sure. I mean, obviously, everything I've done with Kidrobot has been just amazing. This very first collection
Oh,
is
love that.
probably my favorite. We did 7 different creatures. And it was our first introduction into Kidrobot too. I mean, I've always like collected Kidrobot, but to actually create things, it was our first introduction. It was just so like fulfilling. And I mean, I cried when we got the email that said,
Oh
like,
my
hey, would you
God.
want to do this? It was
Love
kind of a game changer for our artwork too. And really solidified us within the toy space. I guess outside of Kidrobot, we've done so much. Every year I feel like I have a project that completely consumes me, and that's my favorite project. I would say the most recent one is my husband and I have been creating a board game called Familiars and Foes. And it's all based off of this character called the Familiar. It started as a toy, and we just did a ton of story building around it and created an entire world within the Horrible Adorables universe. And it's really exciting to think about, like, you know, that world building, where can we go from here with the future of Horrible Adorables, and what's next for our characters, you know, bringing them into a space that's going to a different market. It's reaching a whole new group of people, and it's got that very interactive and playful sense that will hopefully, yeah, introduce a whole new group of people to Horrible Adorables.
Awesome. Other than that project, do you have any other projects that you're working on that you can share with us that we can look forward to?
So we have been, my husband and I have been working with a tiki bar, creating
Ooh,
a bunch of glassware
nice.
featuring our characters and swizzle sticks and all that sort of merch. And that's been really cool to get into, like, that commercial side, because I've never done like home goods before. But we always have releases throughout the years where we are doing stuff with this collection called our Fuzzy Friends. They're these little flock toys that
Very
we
cute.
make at home. They've really become a big part of Horrible Adorables, and we do like little sweet themes throughout the year. The next one is cottagecore, so it's going to be very
Ooh.
mushrooms, witches, sweet little toads, tea time. So a
Oh,
whole collection like that based around these characters.
that sounds so cute. And
Thanks.
when do you think those will be coming out to the market?
So we're hoping this spring, like probably late spring.
Amazing. How is it like working with your husband? How are you guys as partners in this Horrible Adorables collaboration?
It's pretty seamless. I know I keep on going back and forth between saying me and we, and because it's just that we do everything together.
Yeah.
So Horrible Adorables was originally my concept and something that I had developed out of when I graduated from college. I was looking to start my own business and my own line, and Horrible Adorables kind of was that thing for me. And as it grew and I needed a partner, and my husband was always like helping more in, you know, behind the scenes, but I would always be like, oh my God, I have like all these things I need to make, and you got 2 hands, like come and help me
Come
out.
on. Recruit him. Yeah.
So he's always been there, and we went to art school together too. So it's like he's very creative, does amazing stuff, and we really don't have any problems. Maybe a little bit more at the beginning when I was still kind of transitioning from my thing to our thing, but it's been so long that it's all good now.
Nice, nice. I know with my husband, I think we would kill each other if we worked together that closely. So that's great to hear. Thank you so much, Jordan. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and happy Women's History Month.
Well, thank you so much, and happy Women's History Month to you as well.